My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. In our last episode, we set up this little, well I say little, it's quite substantial. We set up this substantial cargo exchange that services Ripley, delivering both machinery and goods to the city. They are the two trade goods it requires for growth. So we got that addressed, and we spent the last 10 minutes or so just furnishing the cargo station with various little assets and little people, little models, just to breathe some life into the environment and the surroundings, make it look a little bit more lived in and a bit more alive, rather than just a small shack attached to a cargo station. It now looks quite substantial. I think I'm quite pleased with the job I did. I hope that you are too. At least it adds something little extra to the scenery, adds a few more elements to it, and as I said, just helps keep it looking a bit more lively as it's intended to be. So let's bring up the UI. We're currently sat on around about £450 million. And the next thing I want to do in this episode is push on towards Boston and Stockton and start getting the trade goods that these two towns required delivered in as well. We already furnish Stockton with bricks. However, we also need to get tools up here. In Boston, they require fuel and goods, neither of which we are supplying them at the moment. So their growth has been stymied massively, just like it was in Ripley. However, Boston does seem to have grown naturally due to the extra transport connections we've provided that city. That explains why that looks a little bit larger than Ripley did before we interfered with it. Also, Boston may have started the game as a larger base town as well. So, to get the goods through to Boston, it's quite simple. We have a connection from our goods factory in Morley up here, because we're delivering goods up here as it is already. So that's taken care of. All we really need to do, as I mentioned as I was setting this up, is continue these lines outwards and then have a cargo hub in between Boston and Stockton somewhere that will take delivery of the tools, of the fuel and of the goods, and then trucks will handle the final shipping into the cities to their specific required locations. So we can do that first leg relatively straightforward and simply, and to achieve that, as I said, we shall extend these lines outwards. We'll keep them level with the same gradient that the station is sat on, just for the time being at least. There we go, and the fourth one there. Obviously, round about here somewhere, these two lines, these two separate lines will merge into one. And given that, what's that? What are we colliding with here? Is it that little stretch of road? I think it is, so we'll just delete that and extend our apologies to the Council of Ripley for having to do that. Anyway, as I was saying, given that the cargo is being dropped off on platforms 3 and 4 at Ripley's cargo station, I'd like to use platforms 1 and 2 as the through platforms, so to speak, which our trains heading on towards Boston and Stockton will utilise. That way they shouldn't interfere with the trains that are dropping off for Ripley, and everything should remain relatively smooth flowing, which is the aim of the game here. So we'll just continue those tracks out. That has made a god-awful mess of the road there, but it can be reworked in just a few moments once we've got the junction in place here. How does that look? It looks ridiculous. I think what I haven't done is kept this, well, it's level there. I believe this track is sloping down a lot more than this track is. So what we're going to have to do to ensure we have a relatively smooth junction is do the old parallel trick. So if we put 2 test lines in there that they are eventually going to become, and then feed them in like that, that will give us a lovely high-speed junction, or a high-speed merge. It's not a junction yet. They've just come together to a quad track. And then from here we can continue them outwards a little bit, because we're going to need an actual junction to get these 2 lines across into here. If we take it back further, we might be able to get a faster junction. I think that's as much as it is going to allow us to do. It does give us a lovely crossover there without any overlaps. And then from here we can simply drop in the other line, and there we go. Everything merges nicely together. In fact, what we might be able to get away with is if we take it back from here, rather than having it do a slight slalom, we may be able to get it to go in to the line in one smooth motion. Yes, that looks better, rather than having the 2 wiggles. It is still a little wiggly, but I wonder if you could take it back. I think that's where he took it back from last time, isn't it? No, it's not. So we'll take it from there. Can I just delete a small section of this? Or is that going to take it all the way back to... In fact, that would be okay, because we already have the overlap done and smooth. And I think this should now work as intended. If I can just get the node for this bit of track here. Doesn't look like I can. It's let me do that. Okay, that's somewhat unfortunate. First of all, I need to get rid of this. I can't do what I was hoping to do with that track sat there like that. Yes, there we go. Now, that would be a lot smoother, a lot less slalomy. However, I am struggling to pick up this track here. But, given that it should snap parallel to this one, I believe we've guaranteed ourselves a smooth crossing. Indeed we have. It looks wonderful. And then we can just take it all the way out and then connect it in. And that looks a lot smoother. And it's all done in one gradual curve, rather than curving, running straight and curving once more. So, very pleased with that outcome. So we can now continue where we'd left off, which is running out towards the direction of Boston. Again, this is causing a little hump in the road, but it can be addressed. In fact, before I forget, because I will forget, I'm going to quickly pause it, delete this level crossing here, and build it back in for them, looking a little better than it did previously. So let's get the flatten tool, and if we bring the middle of the track level to the track height like so, it's going to look a bit like a box plateau for now, but we can smooth it afterwards to blend it in a little better. In fact, can you go back even further? Yes, you can. And then if we extend this flat section out just a touch more, like that, that'll do. It should give us a smoother slope up to the level crossing that we're about to give them. You want to have country road from here on out, I'm going to say. Whether you want it or not, it's what you're having, so you may as well get used to it. We do want it curvy, because we need to curve up towards where the level crossing is going to be. It is going to remove that house. I do apologise for that. But now... okay, it's done exactly the same thing as before. That is quite unfortunate. Okay, maybe if I now smooth it, it should do what I'm hoping it will do. Take the push size down. Don't know why I did that. I was hoping... in fact, can I do this? In fact, I may just have to get rid of this small section of track here, flatten it out across, and then relay the track in to get a nice level crossing. Let's see if this works for me. It should do, in theory. Yes, you're now smooth and flat, which is excellent. Carry on with our road. Cross over like that. That's not a bad slope up to level crossing. The level crossing itself, oh, that's a bit odd as well. We may just have to live with that because I don't want to spend all day long fiddling around with this to get it smooth, but we'll see if we can do it quickly. Take this back just a touch further, right there, so it's got more of a run up to get up to that gradient. And then, nope, you're going to do it again. Perhaps if we get you to come up to there. You are climbing a little, but that's okay. And are you aimed at the track there? Pretty much. I'm happy enough with that. That's better. And now the second track should just follow suit nice and simply. Yes, you do. And then run you down like so. How does a track look? It looks okay. The level crossing, it's a bit elevated and... no, I don't want the track to be doing that. I'm not sure why you opted to do that. That was unfortunate. Why are you sloping down like that when the other this track is quite elevated compared to the one beside it, which is not what I was hoping for. But what we can do just to fix that is hopefully come back here, then stop. Are you level? I believe you are. Construction not possible. We'll see about that. Now you are flat, okay. So continue straight on to the track there where you're going to connect back up. This is a lot of work just for a simple level crossing, but may as well do... Oh no, that's not aligned correctly. There you go, that is. How does that look now? That is perfection. That's what I wanted. A bit of hassle to get there, but we got there in the end. Okay, so now we can unpause it and continue. I will do this at some point, although that one isn't as bad. I think if we just smooth the area out... Oh, now it's flattening. Smooth the area out around it. That won't look too bad. I mean, it does slope down. In fact, we can get rid of that slope. Luckily, we don't have to touch the tracks for this bit, though. We can just smooth this off. Like that, and then get the road connection replaced. There we go, yes, that's better. That was much easier to handle. Now, we're going to run up this way, and we need to decide where we want to put our cargo station. I think, in fact, I'm going to demolish that. A little bit cheaty, perhaps, but it's never going to be used, just because of the logistics of getting the plastics up here would be an absolute nightmare, so I'll get rid of it. A little bit against the spirit of the game, perhaps, but I've done it now, and there's no returning from that. And pressing on, our cargo station is going to be perhaps here. Would be an ideal place for it. So we shall set him in place now. Where are we? Cargo station. We'll have 4 platforms, and we will have maximum length straight off the bat. And we'll put him somewhere like that. Should be quite ideal. Yes, I'm happy enough with that. We'll just smooth this edge off here. Increase the brush size now. Get the slope taken care of there. Is it okay on this side? It is. It's not too bad anyway. There we go. And now we want to get the tracks laid in. And my plan here is to run alongside our passenger line all the way down, and then just merge off here and go into the cargo station. So to that end, we shall lay our track. Have him head out toward... Where's flat? Where's straight? I'm curving all over the place there. There we go. He is climbing a little. However, our trains shouldn't find it too taxing in this day and age. And then we want to curve in. In fact, if we put in our parallel tracks here against the passenger line, like so. And then from here we go out to connect to the line we just laid. Yes. And then we'll check the gradient once he's done. Oh, we can unpause it now. I fixed that road. I forgot about that. How does that look? Doesn't look too bad. It's not climbing or falling too drastically. And now we can just continue following the passenger line alongside, like so, all the way through to the cargo station that we just placed. So we'll run it all the way out here and then continue onwards. And this should be relatively simple because we're snapping to a parallel track. There we go. And at what point do we want to break off? Not yet. We need to round this mountain first. So we'll keep them parallel for this section. As far as that tunnel, at the very least, like so. Perfect. And now we can break away and head out towards our cargo station, which is the destination for this track. Or this line, whatever you want to call it. Like so. And like so. And now, in theory, it's not signalled up or we can't switch platforms, but we do have a way to get the goods out to here already. So we will need a diamond crossover here. 60 miles an hour is absolutely splendid. There we go. These tracks need to come out as well. Keep it level like that. And then we'll put the diamond in roughly the same place as the sister track there. Like so. And then we want to gradually connect into this line here. Perhaps from this corner, this curve, is the best place to break away. How's that for speed and for overlap? 50 miles an hour-ish. Yes, that's good. 54. And then get the parallel line put in place as well. Where is the node? There it is. Very happy with that. These catenary masts aren't quite in an ideal location. We can sort those out in just a moment once I've extended this little bit of track there. So we'll select the no mast, go to upgrade, U and U. Again, it does remove quite a lot of catenary there, but at some point we can use assets to rebuild it. And now we can connect in to our awaiting tracks just there. Let's see if that looks smooth enough. Let's just zoom out and have a look. No, not really. It does wiggle quite considerably. So again, what we can do is do what we did before. Take all this back. Right up to that point, I think. In fact, no, we'll go back to the diamond, to there. Yes, that's better. And then you run out like that. Nice and smooth. Yes. We'll have to remove this crossover once more, but because we have one in place already, it will snap nice and straight, as it did previously. Okay, that's a complete lie, clearly. That's a shame. Why? Oh, there we go. Yes, the overlap is more than acceptable. And then we can just finish him off. No, not like that. Finish him off like so. There we go. So now, signalling notwithstanding, we could set up a line to bring goods up to the station. But of course, we want to put some signals in before we do that. So let's go ahead and take care of that. We want signals. Let's keep on going, see what other signals we have available. HP2, what do these look like? Are they on the... No, they're on the wrong side of the tracks, unfortunately. They need to be offset to the left of the track. None of these are, so we can forget about them. Just touch it out there. Same with that one. They are offset, little dwarf signals. We'll use I don't think we've used any 4-aspect signals yet, so we shall use these for something a little different. And we'll start out by putting some by the diamonds. Putting some here to clear the diamond as quickly as possible. And then I'll take the time now and go and fill in the rest of the line with blocking signals. Okay, so I've done the blocking signals up to and between the two stations. We will need a... In fact, we shouldn't need a diamond here, because they're not going to be stopping on these platforms. They'll be passing straight on through. At least that's the plan. I know we have a diamond on the other side, but I didn't know which platforms our lines were going to opt to use. So there we go. Again, I don't think we need a diamond on this track here, but we'll put some signals in it as well. Anyway, I don't think we're going to have any traffic running this way, but we'll put the blocks in just in case. So that's that taken care of. So now we can return to Stockton and to Boston and put in the road aspect of the cargo hub. Keep level, please. There you go. Get rid of those little humps and bumps and lumps. Like so. And then you want to curve it. Now you can start following the gradient. That's fine. Curve round. We'll connect this into here. Like so. This could probably do with being a modern barriered crossing. So we'll do that while we're here. There we go. Like so. And then we want to do the same over this side. Run a connection into the road there, like that. And I do believe while we're here, it could be worthwhile upgrading this to 4-lane country roads, like this. Unfortunately, we cannot do this section without redoing the level crossing. But I don't see any danger in that. If we just pause it, they're going to get a little concerned that they're stranded and they can't get to where they were originally going, but soon enough they will be able to. So we just take that back a little like so. Get the 4-lane highway or the 4-lane motorway, country road, A road, whatever your preference. Lay that in there and then relay this like this and then straight in. There we go. That'll do. The buses got very confused and find themselves down by the cargo depot, but that's not a problem. They'll soon figure it out. Now we can put in the truck station down here. I think we're going to need 4 platforms for this. Perhaps not, but I'll put a 4 platform in anyway. Because I've said it now, and I want to extend it, so I want to make sure it remains central after I've extended the platforms out. So that's why I've offset it there. And now once I do this, it should be pretty central and mirrored, which is what I wanted. There we go. That's that done. That looks fine. We need a street access on this side as well. And now we can put in the street itself. Maybe go a bit straighter than that, like so. Yes, that looks fine. And then you can curve into there. Excellent. We need to rename all of these. We shall call this the Boston Stockton Cargo Hub, as it's going to serve both of the cities. And this also will have the same name, Boston Stockton Cargo Hub, without the bracket if possible. There we go. So what are we getting up here first? It was the goods is what I believe I was talking about. So to that end, let's go ahead and decide where the goods need to be delivered. Let's upgrade some of these roads because they look a bit bizarre having small roads in an industrial area. There we go, that's better. Okay, where do you require the goods? Let's have a look. Truck unload stop right at the back of the city, from our perspective at least. So let's have him drop off right down here. I think will be a decent enough place for it. Can't get blanket coverage unfortunately, but it's good enough. However, that is a slow street, so I'll upgrade it. It is going to remove some of the buildings unfortunately, but there we go. And now the trucks should come up this way, straight up through the middle of town, across, down, and then back down the way. In fact, while I'm here, it's probably worthwhile upgrading this to something more resembling a main street. Again, it's going to remove a lot of the existing buildings, but that's okay. They do rebuild pretty promptly. Okay, yes, that's the goods delivery setup, or at least the goods drop-off setup. So now we can set up the line for this. Fully loaded, no, not concerned by that anymore. You do want to take goods. And we'll get it named up correctly so we know what it's doing. Goods delivery Boston. There we go. Are you doing what I anticipated you would do? Yes, you absolutely are. Beautiful. Over here, you're looping around, so what we could do, as we did at Ripley's. Get a few waypoints put in just to make sure they don't do that. Perhaps a post box and a phone box there. And over this side we shall have a falling rock sign. I suppose it's quite close. Well, it's not going to fall on here though, is it? So that looks a bit daft. And a deer sign, because why not? So go back to the line manager, click the ones we can see. So if you're coming into that platform, you want to go to that waypoint. So we'll do that. There we go. Perfect. Let's get ourselves some road vehicles in preparation here. Have I got the date pause? No, I don't. I didn't think it was progressing. Cargo, and we're using the opals. We shall say 6. Get the maintenance set there, get the colour set, and get the line assigned. There we go. So now all we need to do is make sure they actually have goods to deliver in to Boston. And to that end, we're going to have to set up a new line down here. However, all 4 of our platforms here are now being used, so we're going to have to make this a bigger station by adding an extra platform. So we'll go for standard electrified track here, like this. And we'll put in another platform along the edge there. And we are going to have to then add a extra line in to get it in. Nope, done that ever so slightly wrong. There we go. That's better. So we are going to have to get this platform hooked into the line as well. But we can do that quite simply. We can take it off from down just over the other side of this level crossing here. Get the track tool. Running parallel. 50 miles an hour will be absolutely fine for this. Construction not possible, of course. That is because of these signals there. So delete that. Now you are possible. And again, the reason we're running it off at such a great length is so the trains can wait without blocking up any other trains that are hoping to get into the station ahead of them. Like this. It's a bit wibbly wobbly, but I'm not concerned by that this time. There we go. Absolutely wonderful. Diamond is required, so you can have one. There you go. And then we want to do the signals here. Nice and quick. A clearing signal there. And then our regular blocking signals just along the way. Enough to make sure we can get several trains waiting in this area without causing issues for other trains. Put some signals in the tunnels now that we can, because they are illuminated. The drivers can see them quite easily these days in the dark. There we go. And then we'll just set the rest up to be in pretty much the same positions as the ones that we currently have for the other tracks. There we go. We need one to protect the junction there and there. And then we want a clearing one for the junction itself there. That's protecting it that way. You want a clearing signal coming off this junction this way as well. Bit short there, but that's no problem. That should be ideal. So now we can do the line for this. So we'll change the name straight away, so when we try and do it later, it doesn't jump around the list and confuse me, and I don't have to find play the game of Hunt the Line. Boston, Stockton. There we go. Obviously, it's only taken them, or they're only being consumed by Boston, but it is Boston Stockton Cargo Hub, so I put both names on. And you're going from here. Fully loaded, I'll say yes, with a 3-minute wait time. Only taking goods. And then you're coming all the way out here to the newly created Boston Stockton Cargo Station. Have you done what I was hoping you were going to do? Well, that platform's absolutely fine. You're using the freight line there. You have no alternative but to do that. And you're using one of the stopping platforms here. So, to ensure you do the correct thing, after Morley Goods Factory hit that signal, and then after Boston Cargo Hub hit that signal, and that keeps you away from the trains that are unloading here. Excellent. So that's done. We have the trucks set up ready to go, and they are waiting, so we can now buy a couple of trains to run this line. What do we want to use for this? I think, again, perhaps the BRE94, the German crocodile. It is quite powerful, and it exceeds the wagon top speed, so that's okay. We need boxcars for this, don't we? Yes, we do, and we'll go for those ones again. 108 capacity, and you've still got an excellent rating. And I'm going to go ahead and say we need 4 of these because it's such a long journey between the 2 stations. We don't want Boston waiting around for years for the next shipment of goods to arrive. So we'll go for 4. It's going to cost us £77.75 million. But needs must. Maintenance, yes, because you do pass quite close to a few cities. Colour scheme, done. Can't see the line, but if we just zoom the map backwards just a scooch, we now can. There we go. And then I shall name the trains via the line manager by clicking here. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. And we quickly name all 4 of these, and then this is completed. There we go. That's all 4 of the trains named up correctly. One has already left the depot and is making his way over. So what we should see now is goods appearing on the platform that we just created at the Mouldy Goods Factory. Let's verify that is indeed the case. Okay, not yet, but I imagine in time they will, and perhaps the reason there isn't any yet is because we have no steel. We do have 4 trains running this. As you can see here, these are new trains. I added them off camera at the end of the last episode because I was planning and preparing for this episode, and I realised we're going to need more steel at the goods factory. So that's where they've come from. I apologise for doing it off camera, but it was a simple case of clicking and cloning, so I don't think anything too interesting was missed there. Okay, so they've made their way to where they need to be, the new steel trains. One thing I'm a bit unhappy about is this huge overhang here from these trains. So what I may do is... Could I do it now? Yes, if I pause it. Is rework this station to give them a longer runoff and a longer platform. And we might even be able to make this a nicer curve than we currently had previously. So take it all the way back up here. All the lines are going to be all sorts of distressed, but promise you now, it won't take me long and it'll be worth the wait. What am I clicking there? Oh, high speed, that's the wrong thing. That's what I want. Make sure I'm putting them in the right place. Yes. Is that going to be long enough? I think in fact I'll go for 1 more just because and make it a beast of a platform. Get the cargo platform selected, fill in the gaps, and then we are done. We just need to connect it all back together and make sure we have full access for all platforms. There we go. Now, where is our train line? There it is. It's a bit close. I'm going to have to run him even further back, unfortunately. Making all sorts of mess here. I'm going to have to demolish that field. I have paid the farmer £208,000 for the privilege, so he's been compensated adequately. In fact, I might have one go this way and then a tight one go off that way, like so. I'll show you what I mean here. Actually, carry on as you are, that's fine. Put your diamond in like this. Nice and quick, yes. And then you can merge, because this is just a passing through. There's no trains going to be stopping here. So there's nothing going to be queued up and stacked. So, what we could do, where does that merge in? All the way back there. So from here, we could have this branch off to this track here. if I eventually build it. There we go. Connect him in like that. And like so. Yes. And then you curve off to these tracks here. Like so. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. No problem with any of that. Okay. So this will still be a tight curve. But that's okay. Keep it around about 50. However, this is the outermost radius, so the inner ones will be a little bit slower. Okay, yes. This is a pass-through, so let's get the second bit of track here. Complete reworking of this little bit of network, that's okay. Sometimes it pays to do it. And now connect you in to the awaiting track there. And there, like that. And then you come along a little bit further for parking purposes. Yes. And then you merge in, although I say parking purposes, it is a passing platform, so there shouldn't be any parking being done on this section of track, but you never know. Whoops, there we go. And then you should snap in nicely there. Yes. Signal. Oh, do we need a diamond? Yes, we need a diamond here. It's going to be a slow diamond because of the corner, but that's okay. Yes. Get the signals put in place for all of this. There we go. That block might be a little bit short, but it should be okay. Get all this done. We need to protect the junction up here. So you'll protect the junction and you will clear the junction. Yep. Yep, that's all fine. Get some two-way signals on the end of the diamonds, as always, like this. And there, yep. Back to one way and do these two here. Oh, we've already done that one, okay. So clearing signal there and there on the wrong side of it. Have I just put them all using the wrong-handed tracks, or did I bet I did, didn't I? No. Because you're a one-way... Oh. Did I accidentally click over to a different... What am I doing here? What am... No, that's right. I just... There we go. I had to put it on the wrong track, like an idiot. There we go. What a balls up that was. Yes, that's fine. Didn't put any other signals down there, did we? No. So that's all fine. So quickly just get this blocking done, and then we'll sort out whatever trains are complaining. They may have to do a different route for one run or two, but it shouldn't take too long for them to figure it all out by themselves. They are grown-ups. They are mature. I'm sure they can do it. There we go. Clearing signals here. There we go. So who's unhappy with me? Steel from Ripley to Morley 04 is saying you have no electrified track. That, my friend, is a lie. So if you leave, you've solved all the world's problems. So I'm not sure what you were complaining about originally, but you're happy enough now. Why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? Are you loading up? You are loading up. Okay, that's fine. You can load up. I'm happy with that. So there we go. A little bit of junction or track reworking around here. Should keep things quite efficient. At least I hope it will. And it looks a little bit better. Looks a bit busier. And it looks like a freight main line, which this area is fast becoming. What line is this? And why are you not heading back that way? You should head back that way. Do we have a diamond here so we can get over? Yes. It is. No, you don't stop there, so I'm not going to see you there, am I? Line manager, visible lines only, please. Ah, this one. Yes, machinery freight. So after Bridport Cargo Hub, come back via a waypoint there. Yes. That's it. Gets them off the platform. We could double track that, but for now it's okay. And our trains no longer overhang the platforms, which was starting to annoy me, so that's that little goal taken care of. Other than that, I think this is a pretty decent place to end the episode. It's been another construction episode in that we set up our cargo exchange here for Bridport. Perhaps we'll go ahead and sceneryify it like we did the one at Ripley, just to make it look alive and give it some character. Our new road is very busy, which is excellent. And it's also much higher speed than before. That little wiggle is ridiculous, so I'm going to remove that while I see it. And put it back in without the wiggle, because there's absolutely no need for it. We want country roads, please. There we go. 4-lane. Don't come off like that. That's just... Don't do that. There we go. Now we can have curvy roads and just slope around gradually. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. So there we go. Yes, as I said, I think this is a... Nope. That's annoying me. Because if we just flatten that out, or smooth it out, there'll be no need for that ridiculous drop-off. So get the flatten tool. There we go. And then smooth off the edge there, like that. Bring it all up to roughly the same height. Yeah, it's close enough. And now put the road back in. It shouldn't dip down to rise back up again immediately. Indeed, it does not. It does drop down a little, but that's okay. Perhaps if we come down... What sort of height is this road at? Are they the same height? No, that's a little bit higher. Can you come down like that? Oh, for God's sake, I'll just leave it. Put it in. Put it back in. There you go. It'll do. It's better than it was anyway. It's not going down to come back up again. That's the main thing. And now just smooth off where we flattened everything. There we go. That's better. Yes. As I keep trying to say, I think this is an ideal section where we can leave this episode and pick it back up in the future. We got the goods deliveries up to Boston set up. Next thing we need to do is figure out how to get fuel to Boston as well. Well, fuel up to here, as well as tools up to here for delivery into Boston and Stockton respectively. We have tools being produced up here. We could utilise a freight line down here, through here, up to this point, and then we could branch off here, bridge over this freight line, and then up in towards the cargo hub there. That would work. And would that also enable us to bring tools up here? Fuel? No, it wouldn't. However, we could reactivate this, which we had to mothball previously, get the fuel delivered to here via a cargo ship, and have a train transport it up to there. That would work. And then that would be Boston and Stockton's cargo needs met, even if not met to 100% demand. It's better than nothing. And then everything Bridport is sorted. Gillingham needs goods, so we can address that as well in a future episode. Petersfield is done. Haywood has nothing. And then it's just a few cities. Derby's done, Macclesfield is done, Ulverston is done. It's just Weybridge, Quinchwell Downs, Haywood, Gillingham, I think. Yes, Gillingham. And these two to do. And then that is every city's cargo needs being dealt with. From that point then, we can just take time to improve the efficiency of deliveries. That would be obviously a lot of line maintenance, a lot of vehicle upgrading, adding new vehicles and whatnot. Although it could also involve a lot of laying new lines to make it a little bit more efficient, and reworking of junctions and sending our trains different ways than they're currently going, just to get a higher rate and frequency. Obviously that's for the future. For now, we just want to focus on getting each city supplied with at least some of the goods that they require. Okay, so yes, all that remains for me to say is, as always, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves. Ta-ta for now.